So topic is indirect neighborship in BGP. Okay, so as you know, BGP can form neighborship with indirectly connected router as well. Suppose I have two router, router 1 and router 2. Here suppose IP address is 12.1.1.1. Here suppose IP address is 12.1.1.2. So on router number 1, yesterday you were running command router BGP AS number, let's say 100. After that neighbor 12.1.1.2. Yes or no? So today what I am going to do, I am going to form neighborship with loopback interface. Suppose here I am running one loopback 1.1.1.1 and here I am running one loopback 2.2.2.2. So if I will configure BGP neighborship with loopback, this is indirectly connected neighbor. Yes or no? Because 1.1 and 2.2 is not directly connected with each other. Or what I can do, I can connect one more router to router number 2 and I will form neighborship with router 1 and 3. That will be also indirectly connected neighborship. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here you will run command neighbor 2.2.2.2 and remote AS is, let's say 100. First we will discuss indirectly neighborship in iBGP. After that, guys, any else command you need to run over here? Yes, because
Yes, sir.
because here router 1 will send one SYN message from this interface. Their source IP will be what? 12.1.1.1. So it will send TCP SYN message, and router 2 will when router 2 will receive this TCP SYN message, it will check the source is what? 12.1.1.1. So it will send one reset message. Right? TCP connection will not form over here. So here actually we need to tell to router number 1 that whenever you will send any message to router 2, always update neighbor 2.2.2.2 and update source loopback 1. Yes or no? So now router will start putting this IP address loopback 1 interface IP address in the update message, in the TCP message, in all BGP message. Yes or no?
Yes,
So
sir.
let me show you practically. Here you can see I have two router. On router number 1, what I am going to do, I am going to configure one loopback. Enable config T and host name R1, interface F0/0, no set, and IP address, let's say 12.1.1.1, 255.255.255.0, exit, interface loopback 1, and IP address is 1.1.1.1, 255.255.255.0. Okay, let me configure IP on router number 2. Enable config T, host name R2, interface F0/0, no set, and IP address 12.1.1.2, 255.255.255.0, exit, interface loopback 1, and IP address is 2.2.2.2, 255.255.255.0. Okay, now let me configure BGP on router number 1 first. So router BGP, suppose on both router I am running AS number 100. Okay, so router BGP 100 and neighbor 2.2.2.2 and remote AS is 100. Let me run same command on router number 2 also. Router BGP 100 and neighbor 1.1.1.1, 255.255.255, sorry, neighbor 1.1.1 and remote AS 100. What will happen after running this command? Router 1 will generate what? SYN message. Yes or no? After that, it will hand over to network layer. Network layer will add IP header. So source IP address will be what? 12.1.1.1. Destination IP will be what? 2.2.2.2. So router will check their routing table to forward this packet to 2.2.2. Yes or no? And in the routing table of router 1, is there any route? So IP route? No. So router 1 will discard it over here. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So first requirement is loopback should be reachable with each other. So can I configure a static route? IP route 2.2.2.2 and F0/0 255.255.255.255. Okay, let me do same thing on router number 2 also. IP route and 1.1.1.1 255.255.255.255 and F0/0. So IP BGP summary. BGP neighborship is still idle. Yes or no? Because if you will capture the link, here you can see SYN message. What is source IP address? 12.1. But source should be what? 1.1.1. Because who is neighbor of router 2? 1.1.1. Yes or no? So here on router number 1, I need to run one more command. Router BGP 100 and neighbor 2.2.2.2 and update source loopback. Update source loopback 1, right? Router BGP 100 and neighbor 1.1.1.1 and update. By the way, you can see neighborship has come up. Here also update source what? Loopback 1. Done. And so IP BGP summary. Okay guys, so how many prefix this router have received? 0. How many message this router sent to their neighbor? 1.1.1, 2, and receive message is also 2. AS number is this one and version is 4. Done. Is it clear to everyone till now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now on router number 1, if you will run command, so IP BGP neighbor. So here see one thing. Outgoing TTL is what guys? 255. Yes or no?
Right.
So whenever router send the update message or any BGP message to their IBGP neighbor, TTL will be what? 255. If TTL value will be 1 there, then what will happen? If TTL value will be 1, or suppose, then also there will be no any problem. But suppose here I have router number 3 and I want to form neighborship between router 1 and router 3. Then router 2 will discard it. Because on router number 2 TTL will become what? 0.
0.
Yes or no? So always keep in mind this thing, that whenever BGP routers here any BGP message to their IBGP neighbor, it will add TTL value what? 255. And whenever BGP routers here message to their eBGP neighbor, it will add TTL value what? 1. Okay, it will add TTL value what? 1.
Sorry for interrupt, sir. IBGP means 255 for TTL
IBGP,
value.
yes.
BGP means only 1, right?
Yes, exactly. Done. Done guys.
Yes, sir.
router BGP 100. Now I am going to configure eBGP over here. eBGP. So router BGP do so run section BGP. How many command I need to remove? This command definitely. No. And let me remove this command also. By the way, this command is required, but no worry, I will run it again. Okay, on router number 2 also, or simply we can say no router BGP 100. On router number 2 also I can say no router BGP 100. And now I am going to configure BGP 100 on router number 1 and 200 on router number 2. Router BGP 100 and neighbor 2.2.2.2 and remote AS is this time 200. Okay, on router number 2 also router BGP 200 and neighbor 1.1.1.1 and remote AS is 100. Okay, so IP BGP summary. Neighborship is idle. So what we need to run? Router BGP 200 and neighbor 1.1.1.1 update source loopback 1. On router number 1 also update neighbor 2.2.2.2 and update source loopback 1. So IP BGP summary. Neighborship is still what? Idle. Neighborship is still what? Idle, yes or no?
Idle. Yes.
So
Yes.
may I know the reason? Anyone,
Yes,
guys? Okay,
We-
first of all, here if you will check the outgoing TTL, so IP BGP neighbor. Outgoing TTL value is, no, it's not showing you. Okay, I will show you, or in the capturing you can see. Who is sending this message? 1.1.1, yes or no? In the IP the TTL value is what? 255. This one is previous message definitely then. Okay. What is problem here first of all? You know,
TTL one.
in eBGP, first of all, let me discuss one more rule of BGP. In eBGP directly connected rule, there is one rule called directly connected check rule. eBGP is by default, eBGP is applicable with directly connected neighbor only. But this time neighbor is directly connected or indirectly connected?
indirectly connected.
Yes. Just
Indirectly.
give me one. Yes. This time neighbor is indirectly connected, yes or no? So there
Yes,
is
sir.
one rule for eBGP only, not for iBGP. And by default, directly connected check rule is enabled on router. So we need to disable this rule. Then only eBGP indirectly connected neighborship will support. What I am saying that in eBGP directly connected check rule is enabled, and in case of iBGP it is disabled. So by default eBGP can be configured on directly connected router only. on directly connected link only. Clear?
I mean, you said both are Cisco routers, right? So, sir,
I'm not talking about the Cisco router or non-Cisco router, boss. I am telling you that for eBGP neighbor, by default, indirectly connected eBGP neighbor is not supported. Okay, by default, because one rule is running, one rule is enabled. Which rule? Directly connected, check directly connected rule. Check directly connected rule. So we can disable this rule on a router. So by default, if you are configuring eBGP with indirectly connected neighbor, make sure you will first disable that rule.
ओके
डन.
सर आईबीजीपी
आईबीजीपी में तो अभी हम लोग देखे ही ना, कोई प्रॉब्लम हुआ था क्या? आईबीजीपी में डिसेबल होता है, ये रूल सिर्फ और सिर्फ ईबीजीपी के लिए है. ईबीजीपी में इनेबल है और आईबीजीपी में डिसेबल है. Okay, so here on router number 1 I need to run one command, that is router BGP AS number 100 and neighbor 2.2.2.2 and disable connected check. This is rule. This command is by default enabled. Okay, so I am saying disable. Done. In the same one, router number 2 also I will disable this rule 1.1.1 and disable connected check. So IP BGP summary. Now you can see neighborship is come up, yes or no? So this is
Yes,
just a small concept, right, in eBGP. Whenever you are configuring eBGP in directly connected neighbor. Done. Is it clear, guys, to everyone? Because now I am going to add one more router over here. Again I am going to say no router BGP 100 over here, and on router number 2 also I am going to say no router BGP 200. Okay, and let me off this router and let me connect this router over here. And now I want to form BGP neighborship between router 1 and router 3. Done. Is it clear, guys? I want to run BGP between router 1 and router 3. Router 2 is BGP free router. Okay. So again, first of all, we will configure iBGP. Then we will configure eBGP. So this time your all confusion will clear. I am damn sure. Let me show you. No. And let me take access of router 3 also. You don't need to write anything, right? Don't worry, I am recording video. After the class, you can make notebook. Erase startup configuration. I think there is some configuration and reload. Till then, on router number 2, I am going to configure IP. Enable config T and interface F0/0 no set IP address 12.1.1.2 255.255.255.0 interface F1/0 no set and IP address is, let's say, 23.1.1.2 255.255.255.0. Done. Right. गिरी, आपने वीडियो देख लिया था ना कल का?
पूरा नहीं देख पाए, वीकेंड में पूरा देख लेंगे।
लेकिन वो देखना जरूरी है।
हाँ देख लेंगे सर।
और उसके बाद उस वीडियो के साथ इस क्लास को कोरिलेट कर लेंगे आप।
ठीक है।
ओके
थोड़ा सा देखता है.
चलेगा चलेगा. So see, whenever you are configuring indirectly connected BGP neighborship, recommendation is you will always configure BGP neighborship with loopback interface. In first class we had discussed logic as well. So on router number 1 and router number 3 I am going to create loopback interface F0/0 no set and IP address is 23.1.1.3 255.255.255.0. Interface loopback 1 and IP address is 3.3.3.3 255.255.255. Let's say 255. Okay, now requirement is 1.1.1 and 3.3.3 should be reachable with each other. Yes or no? This is my requirement. So what I can do, either I can configure a static route or IGP. Yes or no? So here I am going to configure, let's say EIGRP for reachability between R1 and R3, 1.1.1 and 3.3.3. So let me ping first to my neighbor, ping 23.1.1.2. Okay, now router EIGRP, let's say S number is 10 and network 12.1.1, sorry not 12, 23.1.1.0 and network 1.1.1.1. On router number 2 also config T router EIGRP S number 10 and network 23.1.1.0 and network, sorry, network 23.1.1.0 and network 12.1.1.0. Okay, on router number 1 also let me configure EIGRP router EIGRP S number 10 and network 12.1.1.0 and network 1.1.1. So IP route EIGRP. So 3.3.3 is available or not? Just wait. Router number 2. So IP route EIGRP 1.1.1 is there, but 3.3 is not there. So IP interface brief 3.3.3 is running. So IP EIGRP topology 3.3.3 is not available here. So run section router EIGRP so I have advertised 1.1.1 router EIGRP 10 no network 1.0.0.0 and network 3.3.3. okay, so IP route EIGRP. So router 3 have root for 1.1.1, yes or no? And in the same way router 1 have root for 3.3.3. done. So can I configure BGP? Yes. A router BGP 100 and neighbor is 3.3.3.3 and remote AS is, let's say, same 100. okay, and update neighbor 3.3.3.3 update source loopback 1. okay, now on router number 3 config T router BGP 100 neighbor 1.1.1 and remote AS is 100 and neighbor 1.1.1 update source loopback 1. so IP BGP summary. Done? Is it clear to everyone? This is what? IBGP neighborship, indirectly connected IBGP neighborship. Yes or no? Everything is working fine. So IP BGP neighbor TTL is 255. Outgoing TTL 255. Done. Now router 3, no router BGP 100, and on router 1 also say no router BGP 100, and router BGP 100 and neighbor is 3.3.3.3, and remote AS is this time 200. Neighbor 3.3.3.3 update source loopback 1. On router number 3 also router BGP 200 neighbor 1.1.1 and remote AS is 100 and neighbor 1.1.1 update source loopback 1. So IP BGP summary. What is happening, guys? Neighborship is still idle. Why? What is problem?
The default command you told, sir.
हाँ
Disable correctly check.
EBGP में indirect नहीं होगा ना एक बार तो
Disable.
Disable the
Okay.
We have to run.
So if I will disable it, then also neighborship will not form because I
TTL
told you
value-
TTL value in
1.
yes 1. Whenever router will send any message to their eBGP neighbor, TTL value will be 1. So here we have to configure two things. Yes or no? First of all, we have to disable the connected check rule, and we have to change the TTL value also. Or directly, if you will change TTL value, router will automatically disable that rule. Because if you are changing the TTL value, then router will came to know that my neighbor is not directly connected. So router will automatically disable that rule. Okay. So on router number 1, what I am going to do, I am going to say to this router is your neighbor 3.3.3.3, neighbor 3.3.3.3, and neighbor 3.3.3 and eBGP multi-hop. So here what TTL value is required? 2. Yes or no? What TTL value is required? 2. So I am setting TTL value what? 2 this time.
sir,
Okay.
2 or more than 2 will also work, right?
If you will configure more than 2, yes, it will work. But then in BGP, attacker can attack in your network through BGP. Yes or no? So
Okay.
you will configure always TTL value which is required only.
Okay.
On router number 3 also, I need to tell router BGP 200 and neighbor 1.1.1 and eBGP multi-hop 2. Now after running this command, automatically that rule will also disabled. Directly connected check rule. And now here if you will run command, so IP BGP summary. You can see neighborship is done. Yes or no? Now we can exchange the prefixes. Now very important topic, that is when we need to use indirectly connected neighbor. Okay guys. So this time here I am going to design one network. First of all, let me do one thing. Let me close this lab. service provider, let's say. Guys, there is difference between service provider and internet service provider, between ISP and SP. Can anyone tell me what is the difference between SP and ISP? Or if you are thinking that both are same, then tell me how both
ISP
are
provides internet and
Yes.
SP provides connectivity between more on two and more
exactly.
branches.
ISP is responsible to provide internet, and service provider is responsible to provide connectivity between two branches or between 2 points. Yes or no? So let's say here I am going to use 5 routers. This one is suppose ISP, sorry, SP. Okay, and let me take some switches as well. Oh, आईपी कॉन्फ़िगरेशन तो सबको क्लियर होगा ना, आईपी मैं कैसे कॉन्फ़िगर करने वाला हूँ. हाउ आई विल कॉन्फ़िगर आईपी एड्रेस बिटवीन राउटर्स.
Yes.
This should be clear to everyone. Okay. Host name R1, interface F0/0, IP address 14.1.1.1 255.255.255.0, 12.1.1.1 255.255.255.0, IP address 10.1.5.1. Okay, so inside the service provider network, I am going to use any IGP protocol. As you know, whenever we will configure indirectly connected BGP neighbor, we will use loopback interface. So on router number 1 and router number 3, I am going to configure one loopback as well. Router number 1, let me create one loopback. Interface loopback 1 and IP address is, let's say, 1.1.1.1, 255.255.255.0. Now tell me which routing protocol you want to use in ISP network, in SP network. OSPF. So we can configure OSPF. IP address 3.3.3.3, 255.255.255.0. Okay. Router OSPF 1. A router ID, let's say 3.3.3.3. Done. Interface loopback 1, IP OSPF 1, let's say area 0. Exit interface F 0/0, IP OSPF 1 area 0. Okay. On router number 2, on router number 3. A router OSPF 1 and router ID is, let's say, 1.1.1. Interface loopback 1, IP OSPF 1 area 0. Exit interface F 1/0, IP OSPF 1 area 0. On router number 2. Router OSPF process 1, router ID, let's say 2.2.2, and network 0.0.0, 0.0.0, and area 0. Wildcard mask will be not 0.0, 255.255.255.255. Done. Now let me check the connectivity from 1.1.1 to 3.3.3. So IP route OSPF. So IP OSPF neighbor. Wait guys. अभी आपके BGP के सारे कॉन्सेप्ट खुलने वाला है. कितना आपको समझ में आया? Okay. 3.3.3 is there, yes or no? Let me ping 3.3.3.3 and source 1.1.1.1. Done. Now on router number 2 we cannot configure BGP, so I am going to form BGP neighborship between router 1 and router 3 directly. Router BGP AS number यहाँ पे क्या चल रहा है? AS number here is 100 and AS number in your private network is suppose 500. Here also and here also. Done. Router 1, router BGP 100 and neighbor 3.3.3.3 and remote AS 100. Neighbor 3.3.3.3, update source, loopback 1. Done on router number 3. Router BGP 100 and neighbor is 1.1.1.1 and remote AS is 100 and neighbor 1.1.1, update source, loopback 1. Guys, tell me, neighborship will come up or not?
आ गई है सर आपका
Yes, because both are IGP. So here TTL value will be what? 255. Okay. Now on router number 1, what command I will run? Neighbor 14.1. See, when you are configuring directly connected BGP neighbor, that time you don't need to use loopback. Yes or no? Here directly I am saying neighbor is 1.14.1.1.4 and remote AS is what? 500. So which type of neighborship will form here?
BGP.
eBGP, yes or no? Okay. After that on router number 3, neighbor 35.1.1.5 and those remote AS is what? 500. So IP BGP neighbor, sorry, so IP BGP summary. Okay, so ये neighbor कैसा है? Idle. 35.1.1.5 is idle. So on router number 4 and on router number 5 also you have to configure BGP. So let me take you on router 5 directly and say router BGP 500 and neighbor is 14.1.1.1 and remote AS is what? 100. In the same way on router number 5 also config T router BGP 500 and neighbor is 35.1.1.3 whose remote AS is
500.
100.
100, yes, 100.
Okay, and so BGP summary. Neighbor is idle and now you can see. Done, guys. Any dot till here? Anybody? Anybody have any dot till now? Now I am going to advertise this LAN network in BGP. Okay. So on router number 4, what command you will run? Network 10.1.1.0 and mask. Mask will be what? 255.255.255.0. Same prefix length should be there, right, in the local routing table. Okay. I have advertised it. So IP BGP. See in the BGP table, router have install it, but this one is only valid, not based. So IP route, local routing table. This prefix is there, but in BGP table, why guys? Why this prefix is not based? Hello. Okay, so tell me, will this router advertise this prefix to router number 1 or not?
No, sir.
Not advertise on router number 1.
Actually, it's
So
not
IP
best.
BGP. Yes, not advertising. So what is happening? What is problem? So IP BGP summary. Neighborship with 14.1.1 is idle. May I know the reason? What is reason? Ping 14.1.1.4 are not able to ping. So let me check the IP address over here. So IP interface brief. This interface is administratively down. Okay. Interface F 0/0. On 0/0 I am running 14.1.1.1. Okay. Say no set. And so IP BGP summary. Ping 14.1.1.2. Okay, ping is working now. And okay, now in the BGP table of router 4 you can see, so IP BGP, this one is valid as well as best, so it will advertise to router 1, yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Now on router number 1, so IP BGP, this one is valid as well as best.
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 So it will advertise to router 3 or not? Yes, definitely it will advertise to router 3. So IP BGP C. But what is problem? Problem is next hop. So whenever a router will advertise a prefixes to their IBGP neighbor, which router have received from IBGP, that time router will not update their next hop IP address. So next hop IP address, what should be the next hop IP address over here? 12.1.1.2, yes or no? But router 1 have received this prefix from their eBGP neighbor. So I think there is some misconfiguration on router number 4 or on router number 1. How to troubleshoot? How to troubleshoot? Router number 1, so IP BGP summary. Okay. So on router number 3, why router 1 is not modifying next hop IP address? Router 1 should modify, yes or no? क्या हो गया? Okay, on router number 4,
वो इंडायरेक्ट नेबरशिप पे ऐसा इसके कारण नहीं हो रहा है।
कौन सा इंटरेक्ट नेबरशिप? इंटरेक्ट नेबरशिप की क्या कंडीशन थी आईबीजीपी में? पहले तो मैंने इंडिविजुअली ही डिस्कस किया था ना। See, on router number 1, definitely you need to run command. Soon you will understand the meaning of this command as well. Router BGP 100 and neighbor 3.3.3.3 next hop self. अब समझ जाओगे, just wait. Now on router number 3, next hop is still 14.1.1. So what we can do, we can clear IP BGP start opt-in and so IP BGP. This time next hop is what? 1.1.1, and 1.1.1 is reachable from here, yes or no? So that's why now the suit is valid as well as best. So it will advertise to router 5 or not? router 3 will advertise this
Yes, sir.
prefix to router 5 or not?
Yes, sir.
Will router 5 accept it? So IP BGP. No, nothing is there. So now tell me guys, reason. You guys are not sharing the answer. That means you guys are not getting. Vicky, do you know why router 5 is not receiving update from router 3?
Sir, multi hop we have to configuration, right?
No, that one. Okay, tell me, when router number 4 will advertise this prefix to router number 1, will router 4 include their AS number? Yes. Yes or no? When router 1 will advertise it to router number 3, will router number 1 include their AS number? No. So AS number will be what? 500. And when router 3 will advertise to router 5, with what AS number? 500. So router 5 is receiving an update where they are finding their own AS number. Yes or no? And rule is what? Whenever you will find your own AS number in the update, you will discard that update. Yes or no? This is rule. Yesterday we had discussed this rule.
Yes.
Yes or no? So what we can do, we can tell to router number 5. We can tell to router 5 that whenever you will receive any prefix from your neighbor, include your own AS number as well. So command will be very simple. Router. I am actually breaking the rule here. Yes or no? Like yesterday we had discussed how to break rule 1 and rule 2. Now I am breaking rule number 3. So neighbor 35.1.1.3 and allow AS in. This is the command. Allow AS in. Hit enter. And now show IP BGP. You can see. Yes or no? And this one is valid as well as best because router 3 is sharing this prefix information to their eBGP neighbor. So it will modify the next hop IP address. So next hop IP address is 35.1.1.3 and it will install it in their routing table. So IP route BGP. Done. Is it clear? Hello? Vicky?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Giri?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now I am advertising this LAN which is connected to router number 5. Router BGP 500 and network 10.1.5.0. Mask is 255.255.255.0. So IP BGP. Okay. So router 5 will advertise to router 3 or not? Yes. So on router number 3, so IP BGP, you can see. Okay. So router 3 will advertise it to router 1 or not? Yes.
Yes.
So IP BGP. देख लो. But next hop is not reachable. So again on router number 3, I have to update next hop self. Router BGP 100 and neighbor 1.1.1.1 next hop self. On router number 1, clear IP BGP star soft in. And so BGP. Or sorry, on router number 5 I have run this command.
Yes, sir.
So history. No. On router number 3 I have run this command. But here okay, on router number 1 I need to clear IP OSPF, BGP, clear IP BGP stars opt-in, and so IP BGP. Now you can see. Next hop is 3.3.3. So router 1 will advertise to router 4 also, and it will modify the next hop as well, because router 4 is their eBGP neighbor. So IP BGP. So IP BGP. Why router 1 is not advertising to router 4? Actually,
Yes,
router 1 is advertising, but router 4 is not accepting it because router 4 is finding their own AS number in update. Yes or no?
Yes.
So here also I have to run command allowed AS in. So router BGP 500 and neighbor 14.1.1.1 and allowed AS in. Clear IP BGP. Not here we need to run clear IP BGP. So IP BGP. Done. Both are valid as well as best. So IP route BGP. In the routing table also this router have installed it, and on router number 5 also you can verify. So IP route BGP. So this router have also route to reach in 10.1.1.0 network. Now guys, tell me, can I ping 10.1.5.1 from router 4?
No, sir.
Not
Ping 10.1.5.1 and source is 10.1.1.1. Okay, so people who are saying not possible, tell me the reason why it will not work.
रूट्स अवेलेबल नहीं है सर
कहाँ पे?
R1 में
R1 में नहीं, R4 से पिंग करेंगे हम. सॉरी, फ्रॉम R4 पिंग 10.1.5.1 and source is 10.1.1.1. Yes, from R4 to this IP address and source is this one. Means my LAN user is pinging to other LAN user. Will it work?
नो सर
No.
Why?
राउटिंग टेबल से उस पे रूट्स अवेलेबल नहीं है
रूट्स तो अवेलेबल है ना राउटिंग टेबल में. ये
तो
देख
IP
लो ना.
route
सो
difference
IP route BGP.
नहीं स्वाइप
सो IP route BGP. सो IP route. ये लो
14.1
50 अवेलेबल है ना राउट. आ गया ना 50 का प्रीफिक्स.
कहाँ अच्छा ठीक है 10.1.5 नेक्स्ट ऑफ 14.1 ठीक है
Yes. So will it work if I will ping 10.1.5.1 from here? Source is 10.1.1.1 because you can see in the routing table of router 5 10.1.1.0 network is available. In the routing table of router 4 this network is available. Between router 1 and router 3 we have IBGP neighborship.
So it should work now.
It should work.
No, sir.
नो सर
No, sir.
नो सर
It won't.
R1
Why?
के पास नहीं होगा सर
और R1 के पास तो है ना रूट. ये लो ना. R1 का भी राउटिंग टेबल दिखा दूं. सो IP राउट BGP लो 10 का भी है और
और
5 का भी है. दोनों है.
एंड R5 के
Both-
पास है सर
यस R5 के पास है. ये लो. R3 पे भी दिखा दूं.
दिखा दो सर
सो IP route BGP. See, both network is available. Think and tell me guys, will it work or not?
ये
No, sir,
बताएंगे
it won't
सर
work.
R5 सर R5
Sir, it will work, sir.
R5, see here. मुझे नहीं लगता BGP में आप लोग अच्छे से ध्यान दे के पढ़ाई कर रहे हो जैसे आपने OSPF पढ़ा और EAGRP पढ़ा. सही बात है ना. So why guys? See, it will not work because understand the packet flow. If IP is 10.1.1, destination IP is 10.1.5.1. Router 4 will check their routing table. Yes or no? In the routing table of router 4, there is one route 10.1.5. Next hop is 14.1.1.1
लूपबैक से नहीं है इसमें।
लूप बैक से जरूरत ही नहीं है ना, यहाँ पे ये है ना रीचेबल वाया 14.1.1.1, so it will forward traffic to router 1. When router 1 will receive it, router 1 will check their routing table. In their routing table there is one route 10.1.5.0, destination is this one 1.1.2, so it will forward to router 2, yes or no?
Yes.
But when router table for 10.1.5.0, no. So router 2 will discard it, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So that is the reason why I am not able to ping. Guys, understand the packet flow every time. Whenever I am asking this question that will ping work between this user or this user or that user, just imagine packet flow where traffic will drop. So is it clear now? On router number 2 your traffic will drop, yes or no?
Yes.
So what is solution? One solution is, yes, if anyone have solution, redistribution.
Yes.
Where redistribution?
Router 1 and router 3.
Router 1 and router 3. Okay, you will redistribute what? BGP in OSPF.
Yes.
You will redistribute BGP in OSPF or OSPF in BGP. Actually, if you want to advertise this network to router number 2, you have to redistribute BGP in OSPF, yes or no?
Yes.
And if you will redistribute BGP in OSPF, then suppose this router will receive all prefixes of site A and site B, yes or no?
Yes.
But this router don't have capability to handle those prefixes.
Yes.
So you will never perform redistribution, brother. Okay. So actually, here on the service provider, you will configure MPLS. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you will learn MPLS, that time you will understand. But for now, what I am going to do, just I am going to enable MPLS. Now we are not going to discuss MPLS,
Just
but let me
MPLS
enable just.
full form क्या होता है सर this that
हाँ.
MPLS what is the full form for this?
ओके, MPLS का भी एक ओवरव्यू मैं आपको दे दूंगा बाद में, अभी कुछ मत सोचो MPLS के बारे में. ओके, इंटरफेस F0/
MPLS का
हाँ
ओवरव्यू
दे देंगे. हाँ बिल्कुल. MPLS IP इंटरफेस F1/0 MPLS IP on router number 2 also. Interface F0/0 MPLS IP and interface F1/0 MPLS IP on router number 3 also. Interface F0/0 MPLS IP exit interface F1/0 MPLS IP. Now अगर अब आप पिंग करोगे तो राउटर्स अपना राउटिंग टेबल चेक ही नहीं करेगा, अब लेबल के हेल्प से कम्युनिकेशन होगी. So we will understand this in MPLS session. For now let me check that now router 4 is able to ping this IP address or not. Now you can see success rate is 100%.
So it will
Yes or no?
tunnel, is it?
No. Here we have not configured any tunnel.
Okay.
Just I am trying to make you understand understand the scenario where you need to configure indirectly connected BGP. Getting my point? This is only my concern here.
Okay.
My goal.
Okay, sir. Got it.
So in